We have big issues with data capture and data sharing. In 2015, there was the Children's Services Cooperation Act that progressed through the Assembly, and I would argue in the 10 years that have passed that act has laid dormant. The crux of the backdrop or the foundations of that act are on the well-being of children. So I think when we did emerge from lockdowns and pandemic, I think almost everyone said we need to focus our attention on the well-being of the child. I think we've put the car into reverse and actually forgotten those things that we'd promised, but the Children's Services Cooperation Act could and should deliver better for children. It advocates for but does not mandate the pooling of resources, but there is a gap within it around data capture and data sharing. And I guess this relates to some of the evidence that was presented in the inquiry previously around how our offices receive information from government in order to provide adequate advice. So I unfortunately don't receive adequate up-to-date data so that we can analyse need. Yes, and I think broadly speaking from my perspective, we've talked about child's rights impact assessments, and I believe that's another gap in Northern Ireland, and I would certainly advocate for mandatory child's rights impact assessments. I would hope that a proper recovery plan and analysis of the impact of how the decisions were made during COVID would bode better for policy making generally, and ensure that if we do use education as an example of a policy changing environment in Northern Ireland, the children's voice would be paramount in how those changes are made, that the role of the Commissioner's Office is paramount as well, and ultimately that those changes are viewed through the lens of a child's rights lens.